Happy Thursday.
Hi. Thursday. I genuinely thought it was Wednesday. I had Wednesday's diary open before.
Well, that's a nice surprise. Thinking that
yesterday just went in a giddy, sparkle-filled bubble of loveliness, didn't it? So
did we tell you that we're publishing our own book? Did we tell you that?
I don't think
did
we
mention that yesterday?
I don't think we mentioned that. But welcome to Donna and Cheryl TV. It's Thursday, as Cheryl just said. We've got a really great topic to talk about today to really help you be more productive with your life and your emotional energy today, which is going to be great. 15 minutes, high energy. Hi, Yvette. Good to see you. And as always, Cheryl and I will be doing our best to keep it real.
I forgot to put my headphones
on. Missed it there.
They're all tangled.
Can't get the staff. So how are you all doing today? Drop the hi, say hello, and again, if we forgot to mention it yesterday, we're writing a book.
Girlfriend.
Sorry, I'm just having a slurp of coffee. And I needed a slurp. Cheryl's putting her headphones in. This is literally keeping it real. This is how we roll. Super organized, uber professional, always on.
You wouldn't believe it. We'd actually been on there 10 minutes earlier to get prepared, but these are the things that you just forget. No, yes, I know we're not.
Yes,
we didn't mention it.
If you're the only person in the world that didn't hear, we're shouting from the rooftops yesterday. We're writing a book. So, and I paced myself. I only put it on LinkedIn this morning. I thought I'd just eke out the joy because it was so amazing yesterday, the amount of responses and messages and then personal voice notes we're getting from people. So literally until 9 o'clock last night, I was just replying to people saying how excited we were. So thank you for being such a big part of that fun and sending us so much love and offering to buy boxes of the books.
No freaking pressure, people.
Yeah, obviously my inner imposter syndrome, Estelle was then going, who are you to write a book? Like, no one's going to want to hear that. I was like, oh, here she goes. So there'll be a lot of Estelle in the next 4 or 5 months, a lot, but that's okay. Bring it on, bitch. I am ready for you.
Yes. So today
I know you were being sarcastic, and don't worry. Don't worry, I was being cheeky. Yes, that's fine.
So today we're going to talk less about the book, but we are publishing our own book, and talking about setting intentions. Point made in case we're writing a book, but it's like quite often we sail through the day. We get up, might do a morning routine, go into the day, and then before we know it, it's lunchtime, and before we know it, it's tea time, and then before we know it, we're back in bed and we're all ready to go again for the next day. And we just roll into hour after hour after hour, and then sometimes get to the end of the day, we're not sure what we've been doing. We don't know where the day's gone. How many times do we say to each other, oh my God, I don't know where the day's gone.
Yeah.
It's like a continuous pattern that can happen to us. So and when we talk about setting intentions, this isn't just about doing it in your morning. I know a lot of you have got Brendan Burchard planners, which is amazing, and we use that to set our intentions, which is fabulous if we're setting an intention for the day. But we want you to get really clear about your intentions throughout the day, because this is what will help you with your energy. And when you go to bed on a night, it's a continuous process that we want to get you really tuned into, because it really helps you in your day to achieve what you want to achieve.
I'm just going to pop the link for the planners, because everybody always asks me about the planners. They're amazing. I don't know if it's posting, but I'm trying to pop it in. Anyway,
it's there.
Is it? All right, great. So, and like I didn't really understand intentionality until I heard, because to me that was just like deciding what you're going to do. But intention is so much more than that. It's about focusing on the energy that you're bringing. It's about focusing on the outcome that you want for something. So loads of people say, well, I have a to-do list. Like, that's not the same as your intention. This is like, what am I bringing? How am I showing up? How do I want that to roll? Like, what's the point? Yeah. And I remember listening to Oprah and Gary Zukav talking about this years ago now. And she said it changed her life. Like, understanding how important bringing intention is to something. She said changed her life. And she says to this day that she has his book, The Seat of the Soul, on her nightstand. obviously I rushed out and bought it at the time. And it is an amazing book. And there's a really good podcast that you can listen to as well that shares it. So when you do this in terms of, when you're coming into meetings, when you are going to exercise, when you are sitting having family time, rather than just physically being there, like Cheryl said, and plonking your bum, going, right, it's family time now, but your head's over here doing 50 other things off your list. It's like, what's the intention? What is it that I'm trying to bring to this? What do I want the outcome of this to be? And it really helps to bring you present. And remember, true happiness can only ever exist in the moment that you're in. You can't work out how you're going to be happy tomorrow. You can't work out whether your happiness yesterday is already gone. True happiness is always about aligning with the present moment. So have an intention and intentionality with your energy in the moment, and with that kind of block of time that you're in really helps. So, for example, I could say today, right, well, I'm off next week, so I've got loads of emails to write, I've got loads of writing to do. So the task would be writing, and the priority is getting the writing done. That's not the same as having intention. My intention with that writing is to write something, a story for you that you will connect with when you read it. My intention when I sit down is to think of one client who I'm thinking about when I have that story in mind, who I know that pearl of wisdom or that life lesson shifted something for them. So my intention is to try and convey that in the words that I'm using. That's very different to saying I've got emails to write.
So we're very keen, as we're talking through this, is just for you to just share any moments of your life where you feel that, where you recognize you're actually just ticking something off your to-do list. You're just doing the task without a clear intention behind it, which gives it purpose, which then gets you focused on the outcome rather than the actual task. So pop it in the comments. Where are you just doing stuff unintentionally, basically?
And it's
Which
funny,
areas?
Sorry, because just thinking about it now, whilst I hadn't heard of it as a concept, when you think back now to like when we were in our corporate days at More Than in financial services, and I remember, whenever we were planning, we used to have, what were those big things where you get all of the staff to go?
Yeah, like we used to have quarterly planning off-site day things.
But those ones where we'd have like comm sessions, but they were all together.
Yeah,
so
I can't remember what they were called. Yeah,
I can't remember the name, but anyway. And people would often say, like, from comms, this is the message that we need everyone to hear. And I would be like, but what's the feeling that we want them to leave with? That was always like my goal was to be clear on how I wanted people to leave feeling. And I'll be the same when I sat down with the team doing one-to-ones. I was like, how do I want them to feel? Like, I want them to feel heard. I want them to feel seen. I want them to feel listened to. I want them to feel like they're clear on what they need to go and do next. So whilst I had no idea what was going to come out of the person's mouth, if that was my intention, I had to be very present and centered in that moment to be able to achieve that outcome for me and for them. So does that make sense? That's how I used to, that for me, it's always been there. I just didn't know what it was. So
yes, what's your thoughts?
And how do you do it, Cheryl, as well? Like, how do you, well, you guys, you write your thoughts in of where you're being intentional or not being intentional. Yeah. And I'd love to know, like, what's your inner thing that you do to get intentional? Like, how do you bring it?
Well, I think I'm just very similar to you. Like, I focus on the outcome. Like, what's the purpose? Basically, it's like I'm always about adding value. So I like to make sure that what I'm doing is adding value. But I think it's about the outcome, the purpose of it, I think, is the most important thing for me. Like, what's the purpose of this? And depending on what it is again, I'm always, if it's people involved, it's just exactly the same of how they leave thinking and feeling. Yeah. It just depends on what the thing is, because obviously when we're doing coaching sessions, we have a very clear intention that we are there being present and getting our clients to whatever or wherever they need to be. When it's about doing tasks, like this morning before we were coaching, I've been very on fire, like just getting shit done. I was in the masculine mode. I was in the masculine mode of just getting organised though for next week, because I know, so Donna's on holiday next week, so I'm really clear about getting myself organised with the diary so that I have a great week. So I have an easy week, so the week flows, so I'm prepared in advance. So So my tasks this morning, when I was doing them, is about next week. It's about the goal, so that next week I'm feeling ease and grace and flow. Yeah. When I'm doing all of the sessions and stuff
rather like that. Rather than sitting down with, oh God, next week's going to be horrendous. No, and now I've got to do all these tasks and
Because I get to choose what goes in the diary when it goes in, and so.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Yvette's just saying this is so true. Not task driven. I get sucked into that. I've set alarms on my phone for a few times during the day to do a breath exercise so I can tap intentionally into that exercise. I love that, Yvette. And Wendy's saying mindless food shopping and prep. Get a job done. Bored. Don't get inspired or intentional around food, but eat too much of it. This is really like, I'd invite you to have a proper breakthrough moment with this then. Yeah. So when you start to love your energy in your food and love the food for giving you that energy and love water for hydrating you and, really being grateful, being in the moment of like what work went in to get that vegetable in that shop in your house for you to then chop it up, like the processes that had to go into that being present in your home so that it can give you nourishment. Like when you focus on the gratitude of having the food rather than the boredom and the monotony of that, I think that could actually completely flip your relationship with it, Wendy.
And Wendy, just picking up on your language, mindless food shopping. Now, I guess when you're eating too much of it, at whatever time of the day, you're doing it in a mindless fashion. Because mindless means you're not thinking about it. And I know myself when I've had 9 p.m. habits, or I go into the treat cupboard and mindlessly eat food as I'm watching something on the TV. So just a language check that when you see mindless food as being mindless, the process of buying food as being mindless, that will be linked to the mindlessness that you're having when you're popping it into your mouth.
So how could you make it mindful food shopping, mindful food prep, grateful food shopping, grateful food prep, because you're big on that. So I know you can use that skill to apply it. And saying, if I see someone read business, I have a conversation with myself and the universe, love it, about what is best for them, their outcome. How can I show? And honestly, that's one of the most powerful prayers. Show me who to speak to, show me what to say, show me what to do. It's so
love it, love.
Letty, I think I'm being intentional with my day, planning specific outcomes, and then can easily get distracted by another task. What can I do to stay on track? So it's about setting up like a little trigger or an anchor for yourself, so that as you start the task or when you're through the task, you keep coming back to the question of what is my intention? So whether you have a reminder on your phone, whether you have a post-it, whether you have it like in your diary, like, is there something that you've normally got around you when you're working? Like my phone is the big thing. Like my phone's always, well, it's not very far usually. So having an affirmation of something as your screensaver, like I'm intentional, or having it written on a bit of paper. It doesn't have to be pretty, stuck in the back, and I have like a clear wallet on my phone, having it as a post-it. Whatever your goal is, whatever my goal is, I always have it on a card, and it's usually just there so I can see it. So do something like that, Letty. Just eat something that's a trigger, so that every time you start it, you remind yourself of the goal, of the outcome, of the intention, and then just keep checking in with yourself. Mine is my priority every day in my diary. Number 1 day, be intentional, because I know that it's a busy week, so I need to be super focused. So be intentional, be intentional, be intentional.
And just, some use of like affirmation language, like I am focused, because if you have a belief that you easily get distracted by another task, then you will always easily get distracted by another task. So that's a belief that you've formed about yourself. So just using some affirmations to change your thoughts and beliefs, I am focused, I'm intentional, will help you to believe that, and then your behavior will start to change.
And when you observe yourself doing it, because you'll know, because the you that's all knowing observes you being distracted by the task. Whenever you've realized that you're doing the task, the distraction task rather than the core task, just witness it without judgment. Observe this is that thing that I do sometimes. That's interesting. And create the habit of going back to the intention of the original task. Yeah.
Fab.
Hope that helps. I didn't used to focus on the outcome for me at all. Always about other people. This is Jo, by the way, which I now realize is no good. I have my 11:11 alarm to stop and say my affirmations. Love that. 11:11, powerful numbers, guys. Always have an 11:11 reminder calendar in your phone so it pops up with your current, pick one really powerful affirmation that you're working on at a time. Like that, a visual trigger. Absolutely. So
love, love, love. Intentions.
It is a game changer.
Yes. Yeah.
It stops the mind fog and all the fussy noise shite of doing stuff that's not adding value.
Yes.
And asking people when they come to your meetings, if you're in corporate, any meetings, especially online where we've got a lot of distractions, what's your intention for this meeting? Really makes people sit up and take notice. And we've got something exciting coming, haven't we?
Yes. So we have a fabulous lady who is basically, she does our PR for us, and she has a wonderful opportunity, which I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to build the suspense. So she's going to be coming into the Soul System and the Now Is Your Time page next week on a live on Monday to tell you about the most amazing opportunity that she has for our Now Is Your Time and Soul System community. So we're extremely excited. So if you're watching this on mine, Donna's, or YouTube platform and you haven't joined the Soul System and you don't follow the Now Is Your Time page, you will not find out about this amazing opportunity that people pay a lot of money for. So we're going to pop the link in for the Soul System. So if you're not in there, basically what have you been doing for the last few years? And also making sure it's there. I already had it there. Making sure that you're following the Now Is Your Time page, either or. That will be the only platforms it's shared on. So, and for you that are on already in the community, 10 a.m. on Monday, we'll be promoting it over the weekend. Be there. Watch it on playback. It's going to be so exciting. We just love
Jo Swad. And Jo Swad is a PR guru. Her and Joe Maloney from Chuck PR have really helped us change the profile of Now Is Your Time. So you're going to want to hear about this. You're going to want to hear about this. Okay.
So I'll be back tomorrow with the Soul Squad. Are you off prepping for your holidays tomorrow, Donna? Getting all beautified.
Well, it'll take more than a day. But no, I'm hoping to be here tomorrow. So I might pop in and see you at the Soul Squad tomorrow. And then you've got a week of no me and just Cheryl. So you better all turn up and keep a company.
I've got guests plotted in every single day. So yes. So anyway, have a lovely Thursday. Keep it real, people.
Be intentional. Love you. Bye.